Hello, people. Today I have with us the 30-minute sister SIST00 number 6 Lirinel, color A. There is a small write-up here, so let's go ahead and read that. She is an expressive and energetic sister. Despite her short stature, she can energetically hop around. She's trying to find the proper way to use her armor and headphones. This here is her unarmored form, or her normal mode. This is her just chilling, relaxing, being her normal self. Now this one does come with 3 face plates, including a somewhat shouting face, a almost bored face, and an oopsie face. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I probably won't ever use it. I don't think I'll ever have a use for it, so if anyone wants it, you just send me a message. The other thing about this one is that mouthpiece inside there is a separate piece, and because of that, they actually included another section on this one. I have 2 of these, so in case you're wondering where this faceplate's coming from, you can replace that with teeth, and that looks more like a real tight grimace, like she just saw a car accident there and doesn't know what to do. Very interesting look. But you do have those options there. So 3 options for faceplates and 2 options on one of those faceplates leads you to 4 options altogether for faces. A really nice combination of things with just a simple changeover. This is a very cute and very small girl. She is very short compared to some of the other ones. I don't have any of them out right now, so let me go ahead and grab. The Luce is at the top of my stack, so here is the Luce compared to this one. And if you remember correctly, the Luce is actually one of the shorter girls as well. So to see her beside this one making her look small is pretty funny, in my opinion. Maybe not as short as I actually thought she was, but compared to some of the other kits that I've been building, like the Ox, she's definitely going to be a diminutive form. So let me go ahead and put Lelouch back. Lirinel has the motif of a bunny, like they mentioned about her hopping around. Kind of seemed odd to me at first. Of all the things you can point out at someone, that is an odd one. But you know, you have the rabbit on her chest here, you have the rabbit on the bottom of her foot, and basically you get the bunny ears everywhere, even I think on the neck. It might be just a ribbon, but there's another one there. So lots of bunnies on her outfit, and that is something that they really leaned in heavily. I do appreciate that she has a skirt compared to some of the other girls who are more streamlined. So being a smaller or perhaps younger sister, she seems to be more modest than the other girls. That is nice to me because it means that they will be including clothes maybe in the future, more outfits, more things like that. Hopefully so, because I do really like the skirt. I have seen the preview of a new sister coming out, and she also has a skirt, but I also think she's based on the smaller form like this one is. So it's probably going to just be the small ones that have the clothes like this. With that said, it is a good thing, in my opinion, to have more variation. So it is going to be really nice. I'm going to go ahead and cover articulation because I haven't covered this particular type of model before. She is different than the other 30-minute sisters, so I can't say directly that these are the same. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, starting out with the head, we have a joint in the head, which gives her a nice way to move her hair. And that is just pegged into the sides here, and that lifts up and goes down as if it's being blown by the wind or nice and relaxed. The head has a simple ball joint inside the top and on the bottom, but does include the pivot point here so that you can lean it over or over on the other side. So that gives you a lot of room for articulation there, and that is a ball joint that goes inside there as well. Now, I will note that on this one, it is a little looser than it was on the other sisters, and I think that's because a lot of the time, the problems that were coming up with the earlier models, these things were breaking. It was the necks that was culprit. So definitely something that they've tried to improve with this one, at the expense though of an easier pop off like that. You can see I just kind of flick that off, and you see inside here the reason why is they split that joint there inside the head, and so that makes it a lot easier to press out. It's not a bad thing, but it is a small complaint in my book. On the arm, so let's go ahead and take her head off because I know I'm going to move that one again. On the arms, you can see here that the joints inside the body system are very similar to the other sisters, but these ones have a lot more range of motion outside of the norm. Usually those stay inside the body, whereas this one is popping out. That is a ball joint that connects into there and moves around just like a ball joint normally does. And then it is on a ring on, there is a part that comes out this way and is attached to this one. This outer arm is a sleeve. So that comes up like that and down like this. So you can see in here, if you look close, let's see if we can focus it. Maybe there are two pieces sandwiched together in there, and that is sleeved over it. It gives it a nicer uniform feel. Obviously with this joint here, you can rotate it at that seam. Here with the elbow, you get quite a lot of articulation with just one joint. And then the wrist pins are the same two pieces sandwiched together and into the hand, just like you see normally on the 30-minute sisters. Much like most of the Mecha Musume kits. Now in the torso here, we have the joint system inside there actually moves forward and back a little bit, so you have a nice crunch if you want to use that. There is also a ball joint. The ball joint plugs into this here, so you can use that quite freely to get any range of motion that you'd like. It is rather human how much you can turn her and articulate her, so it is really nice to see that. They have improved that joining. At the bottom, the joint system inside here is actually pretty complex. There is a split T in the middle that kind of comes onto like so there's a ball joint at the top. It comes down onto a peg that comes forward, and then there is a T joint that goes on one after the other, looped onto a peg. And so those can move up and down individually, but because of everything that's inside here, you can't really see that. Let me go ahead and take one of the legs off. So this T joint moves up and down on that peg that I was talking about. And then this skirt actually pegs up into that T joint and maintains its hold there, but it's still articulated, so that's quite nice also. That also enables you to replace that skirt with another skirt that they did include. I will show you that in just a bit. So back to the leg, there's a ball joint captured inside this thigh, which is again a sleeve, and there is a peg that comes down into this one. So the ball joint inside there allows a lot of articulation, not so much as you might require, but it is pretty nice to be able to move that leg fairly freely inside that system. You can see the ball joint there, and it does function quite well. So if you move it out just a bit, you can move that leg quite far out of the body in order to get a kick, a high kick, or a sit down position. There's a peg that goes into this section, and that does allow a rotation here at the leg, at the upper leg. This is the same system that they use on the other sisters. So it's 4 pieces connected together, 2 rings with pegs on, 2 sandwich joints together to hold those in place, and it does afford quite a lot of range of motion here. If you move it carefully, you can get quite a lot out of that. Not as much as a Megami device, but quite a bit. The foot has that same wrist pin system that we've seen before. So a peg that goes up in the top, sandwiched between these 2 parts, and the peg that goes on the bottom and does rotate on that as well. No articulation on the foot though. that is the articulation for this one. Let's go ahead and move on. So the next thing that you want to see on this one is the armored form. That is her armed form this time, is what they're calling it. And here she is with that armor and armaments. So she does have those earphones like we mentioned before in the write-up. She has a new set of arms that don't have hands. Instead, it has a bunny motif weapon and a very powerful looking, maybe exo muscle suit, something like that. Really cool there. And this is the other skirt that I mentioned, which enables her to sit down. So this one comes out a little bit lower, but the flap actually lifts up instead of down like the normal. And it gives it the ability to tuck those legs up a little bit higher inside that range. These are pegged onto the normal C sprue clips. So those rings that you see here have pegs on them, and they just slide on over those just like so. So they are articulated however you'd like them to be, covering her shoulders. And they do include a 3mm port at the top of each one of those. There are 2 of them on the rabbit, so if you wanted to add more weaponry, you can. There is no hand on this section, so you're going to be able to port a 3mm peg into that. If you'd like to make some effect parts, they would fit in there just fine. In addition, you have that peg there too, so lots of options for that one if you'd like to show her throwing down with some different types of weapons. It's an interesting look, I think, with these hand cannons is what I'm guessing they are, but it's definitely rabbit styled. It's very funny, in my opinion, how that looks. I kind of like it. So Lirinel looks like she's packing heat with 2 arm cannons, a la Mega Man or Samus. She's definitely looking to cause some trouble, and she has those really cool rabbit ear style earphones that plug into another option form of her bangs that, you know, directly plug into those. This is sadly not compatible with any other hairstyle, I don't think, because that is specifically designed to be used for that hairpiece. So all in all, I think the SIST00 Lirinel is a really cool kit. I really like her. She's a funny, goofy, sort of younger girl than the other ones. I really think that the variation in size and shape of these girls is a boon to the 30-Minute Sister series. I know some people don't like it, but the variation in heights and differences like that really adds to each of these trying to look unique, feel unique, and that kind of thing. So it does include, like I said, 2 of the skirts. You get the one that's the straight one, like on her. This one's flowing downward. And then you get this one here, which is the flowing outward one. That is for, like I said, sitting or crouching, somewhat like this. You also have a whole bunch of hands that come along with this one. That is somewhat of a frustration for me sometimes. Let me go ahead and let these come on out here. You have a weapon holding hand like so. You have a more expressive open hand than what she's using there. There's the other weapon holding hand. You have closed fists. Let's see. Closed fists. And you have the relaxed hand, which is what she's using here. And lots of options there for what you want to do on the hands. And then you also get the 30-Minute Missions compatible backpack. So that pegs into the back, and you can attach C-clip type connectors, pegs, and ports, however you will. Or you can put this on a 30-Minute Missions kit, and then you can use that head on said kit. So that is another option that they include. And with 2 of them, I have obviously lots of hands there, a lot of fun replayability for posing, etc. There are a lot of fun poses that they include on the box to try out if you're into that sort of thing. And because I have 2 of them, I have armors for both. I can swap them out as I want with other sisters or other armors onto these ones. So that'll be a lot of fun to play around with. You might see more of those in the future, somewhat like what I did with the Lelouch. So my final thoughts on this one are, this is a unique looking girl with her sister coming on down the line, that these 2 are going to be a unique set in the history of the 30-Minute Sisters. So them being younger, maybe these ones are going to be somewhat exclusive to these 2 sisters only. I don't see them making a lot more of the younger type. With that said, I hope they do. They come out with different forms, different options, maybe someone older, someone younger. I do hope that they actually include boys in the line. I don't know if they will. 30-Minute Sisters is a more catchy name than 30-Minute Brothers. But we'll see what happens. I really do like these 2 girls. They were very fun to build. Very creative articulation in the inside of the torso on this one. I really liked it. So hopefully they continue some of those things that they've been learning down the lines without sacrificing a lot of the clutch that we got with the old ones. I think the old ones stay together a little bit better. These ones do have an issue with that head coming off. But with that said, I'd rather it come off than not come off and break. You know, that is something that is something to be said about exchange in abilities there. So we're going to continue down the line. Lirinel is next. She might not be for a little while because I have other things to build. But I will be building them soon. I have 2 of those as well. And we will combine the armors of Lirinel and Lirinel on one of each of these because I have so many of them, and I'll do a video for that too. So you can have all of Lirinel's and Lirinel's on Lirinel, and all of Lirinel's and Lirinel's armor on a Lirinel. And if you can say that as fast as I did, congratulations to you. Please leave a comment because I want to know if you can actually do what I just did without tripping up, because I can swear to God that I was like a fraction of an inch away from doing that. If you have listened this far, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. It means a lot to me that you guys take my opinion into account. If you don't, that's fine too. If you just want to look at the pretty kits, that's cool. I have a lot of them, so hopefully I can continue showing you things like that in the future and keeping you guys entertained. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you. We will see you guys next time, or you'll see me. But more than likely, you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.